Hey guys, Cloudy Hayes back for another video. Season 4 has more content than any season I've ever seen before. With that said, they've added many ways to get your alts caught up in item level fast and easy. I'm going to go over step by step how to gear up your alts quickly, and if you follow these easy steps, you'll be raid ready in just under one day. As soon as you hit 70 on a new character, you will become eligible for many new quests and activities. This can be overwhelming, but don't worry, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do, so let's get right into it. The way gearing works in Season 4 is different than in previous expansions. This season is what they call Awakened. Each week, a different zone will be empowered, which means the item level of the rewards you get from the quests and events will be increased as well. There is an Awakened schedule that tells you which zone is empowered, or you can just simply check the weekly quest called the Last Hurrah, which you can find here in Valdrakken at the emissary guy next to the fountain. Whatever quest is active will tell you which zone is awakened. But starting from week 7 and on, all zones and activities in Dragonflight will be awakened, so you won't have to worry about that shortly. This will make so much more gear available and make gearing a lot quicker. The first thing you want to do when you're trying to catch up your alts is get the Last Hurrah quest done. This will reward multiple pieces of veteran track gear from each event you complete. The Last Hurrah quest will require you to participate in 3 events, and each event will reward you with 1 piece of 480 item level veteran track gear. When you turn in the quest, you will also be rewarded with a 493 item level champion track piece of gear as well. After you finish the Last Hurrah quest, check the map in the Awakened zones and finish any activities or dailies on your map that reward gear. Also go kill the Awakened world boss as well. The world boss in the Awakened zone will be empowered and have a chance to drop 493 champion gear. You also get a cash for killing it with a guaranteed 480 veteran track item as well. The next step in catching up your alts will be to head to the Dream Surge event. You can find the Dream Surge event and which zone it's in by checking your map. Find the Dream Surge icon as you see here on my screen. Whatever zone the Dream Surge icon is currently in means that entire zone is for the Dream Surge event. Head to the icon location and you will find a few quests and 2 vendors here. The quests will ask you to do a few things around the zone, such as completing 3 world quests or killing a rare. Pretty basic stuff and easy to do at a low item level. If you need help killing a rare, you can just find a custom group or ask for help in general chat in the zone. There is a currency associated with the Dream Surge event called Dream Surge Coalescence, which will accumulate in your bags as you collect it. For every 100 coalescences you collect, you can purchase a 454 item level piece of account bound gear for your character. The cool thing about this gear is that you get to choose a slot of your choice for your gear. Each 454 item level piece of gear costs 100 coalescence, so you can farm as many of these items as you want. Finding the coalescences are very easy to do. There are 3 ways you can get this currency. The first way is you can fly around and find the green orbs, which reward you with 2 when you fly through them. You will find these up high on top of towers or mountains, or under bridges, or just in weird places. Look around and you will start finding them all over. The second way you can get this currency is by killing things. Every creature in the Dream Surge zone will drop coalescences during the Dream Surge event. The third way you can get this currency is by herbing a flower called Dreaming Growth. You don't need to be an herbalist to be able to herb these, and they also drop whelpling crests. You can find these all over the zone that the Dream Surge event is in. When you complete one of the quests that you pick up at the Dream Surge event, you will be rewarded with a Dream Surge cradle, which you can then use to purchase a 476 adventure or track piece of gear from the vendors there. One of the vendors is for purchasing items with coalescences, and the other vendor is for purchasing items with the Dream Surge cradles, which you can get 1 of per week. But like I said, you can farm as much Dream Surge coalescences as you wish. This is a good way to fill in those low gear slots you may have. Once you finish with the Dream Surge event, your item level should be between 460 to 470 depending on how many drops you got from the Awakened events. Your next step will be to run all the Awakened LFR raids. Looking for raid minimum requirement to queue up is 463, so if for any reason you're lower than that, you can queue up for heroic dungeons and spam those until you're at least 463. If you don't like doing raids or participating in group content, well, LFR is easy and you don't need to pay attention to any of the group making process. You just queue up and wait for your queue to pop. Join the raid, press your buttons, and kill the bosses. You don't need to talk or engage with any players for any reason whatsoever. LFR drops 480 veteran track gear, so this is an easy way to get some easy upgrades quickly. You can also get tier pieces from LFR, which is important to making your character powerful. LFR is also one of the 2 ways you can get your hands on Splintered Sparks of the Awakening, which you will need 2 of to craft some very high item level gear, which I will talk more about in just a bit. You will also get Antique Bronze Bullion from Awakened LFR bosses as well. Bullion is a new currency in Season 4 which you use to buy your best and select gear from a vendor in Valdrakken, located in the Bronze Enclave Enclave and the Parting Glass Inn. These vendors in the Bronze Enclave sell weapons, trinkets, and rings from all 3 Dragonflight raids. Each item costs 2 bullions to purchase. These items start at 493 item level and are on a different gear track than all other items called the Awaken track. The Awaken track is a 12-step upgrade track that allows you to upgrade your gear as high as 528 item level for most items, and 535 for rare items using flight stones and crests. When deciding which item to buy with your bullion currency, make sure to check out wowhead.com for your best in slot list for your character. Just Google it. This is an easy 2 to 3 items just for running a few wings of LFR. You will get your bullions pretty quickly, usually just from killing a few raid bosses. After running your LFRs, head over to the upgrade NPC in Veldraken and make sure to upgrade as much as your explorer gear as you can that you got from the Dream Search event to 476, which only costs flight stones to do. With upgrading some of your gear, finish running your awakened LFRs, and getting a few pieces from the bullion vendors, you should be 480 item level or higher and ready to start running Mythic 0 dungeons. Mythic Zeros drop gear on the champion track, which starts at 493 item level, so the gear you will be getting from Mythic Zeros is a step up from LFR. Mythic 0 dungeons got a difficulty boost this season. Blizzard has made Mythic 0 dungeons the equivalent of last season's Mythic Plus 10, so this might seem intimidating, but don't worry because they are still fairly easy to complete, and there's plenty of people signing up for these dungeons that will help you blast through them. Also, there is no timer in Mythic Zeros, so it's much less stressful than running Mythic Plus. If you're new to the game or returning, these could for sure be a challenge, but just get in there and try your best, and I bet you will succeed, assuming you're at least 480 plus in item level, that is. Mythic 0 dungeons are on a weekly lockout, so you can only run them once a week, but you can easily run all 8 of the dungeons in just a few hours. Each boss has a chance to drop gear. When gear drops that you might need that someone else gets, take a peek to see if they need it or not. Then politely whisper them and say, "Hey there, do you need that?" Because if not, it would be a huge upgrade and greatly appreciated. In most cases, if the person doesn't need the item, they will trade it to you. Just keep your eyes open for some extra gear opportunities like this. Same goes for LFR, but a lot more people will be doing it, so it's a lot harder to get your hands on the gear from someone else. After you run all 8 of your Mythic 0 dungeons, your next step to gearing up further will be harder content. You will need to run normal or heroic raids or Mythic Plus dungeons. If you're 490 plus, you can easily get into harder content. For Mythic Plus, you can easily do one of 2 things. Try to get invited to a group, or make your own group and push your key as high as you can. In most cases, if you're 490 plus to item level, it will be easier to make your own group, but most people will still invite you to plus 2s and plus 3s if you're in the 490ish range. Do your best to try to get some Mythic Plus keys done and get some higher item level rewards. You will also get better vault rewards at the end of the week. The higher the key level you run, the better rewards you get in your vault. For running raids, you can do normal or heroic. Either are doable at 490 plus. Normal obviously will be easier, but I highly suggest making your own raid unless you're 500 item level or higher. If you decide to make your own raid, a good suggestion is to invite as many high item level players as possible. Also make the raid as big as you can. More people means more gear drops. Also, the more players that are high in item level means more gear that drops that people don't need. You being the raid leader, people are more likely to trade you gear they don't need. If you're new to raid leading, you can still do it. Normal is fairly easy when you stack your raid with 490 plus item level players. Just push forward and pretend to know what you're doing. Most people won't question you. They will be thankful for an invite to the raid. One last gearing system I want to talk about is crafting gear. Crafting gear is an easy way to get fast, high item level gear. You can easily craft gear at 502 item level with just using a Spark of the Awakening. If you want to craft gear at 515 or 525 item level, you will need enchanted crests, which will cost crests to do so. I'm not going to get into the details on how to craft gear, but I will post a video I have made that explains everything you need to know about how to craft gear in Season 4 in the description of this video. So feel free to check out the video if you want to learn more about crafting. Also, before crafting an item, make sure to check wowhead.com and find out which items are best to craft for your class, since sparks are a limited currency. If you found this video helpful, then please toss the channel a subscription. Being a new YouTuber, every subscription early on really makes a big difference. All your support is very appreciated, guys. That's it for this video. I really do hope it helped. See you in the next one. Cloudy Haze out.
I just need to know what's on your mind. Tell me what you need.